A white supremacist has admitted to fatally stabbing a homeless man to death because he was black. The man is James Jackson. The suspect is James Jackson, and he turned himself in and completely confessed not only to the murder, but confessed that he is a white supremacist. James Jackson allegedly told investigators he traveled from Maryland and was looking to harm black men when he encountered Timothy Caughman at around 11:15 p.m. Monday in Manhattan. Jackson then allegedly attacked Caughman with a large sword, stabbing him repeatedly. Caughman, who was reportedly homeless, stumbled into a police department with stab wounds to his chest and back and died later at a hospital.
Because if you're supreme and you're so much superior to other people, what you do is you find the most powerless person there is and then attack them at their most vulnerable moment when they can't defend themselves. That's how people prove how supreme they are. But in their idiotic heads, that's how they think. They think, oh, I'll show him. He's got no weapon, I do. He can't defend himself, he has no power at all. Now, am I gonna go, it actually reminds me of Dylan Roof. He said, well, I mean, I really wanted to kill black people, but I didn't want to go into an inner city in his way of thinking, because that would have been dangerous. So I just shot people at a church because it's easier. But yet, in their twisted minds, they think they're really courageous.
Yeah.
And it reminds me a lot of Islamic terrorists. Right, like, oh, I'll go run over this Spanish teacher in the middle of London, and because I'm really courageous.
Oh my God, can you imagine? Look, I missed this story because I didn't see a ton of coverage on it. I knew about this story because our viewers sent it to me and they're like, you need to cover this. But can you imagine if this wasn't a white supremacist and it was a Muslim guy who ambushed, I don't know, anyone and killed them with a sword?
If there was a mad Muslim running around with a sword in the middle of New York saying, I'm doing this for Allah and to show that Muslims are supreme, you'd think there wouldn't have been nonstop coverage of it?
But guys, we mustn't, I know it's gonna be difficult, but we mustn't blame all white people for this one attack. I mean, it's definitely not a part of white ideology. White supremacy isn't an inherent gene that white people have. Unlike Muslims, which are all terrorists, according to, ironically, people like James Jackson. Now, one of the things I found on the internet was James Jackson's viewing habits. Now, of course, it's a laundry list of the same websites that you would assume that I'm not even going to mention. But I looked into some of his favorited videos, and it's like, you can completely analyze all of the sexual repression that this person feels, like how much anxiety he feels and also how racist he is just by looking at his 6 favorite videos, which start off with why I'm quitting porn and achieving goals, which is like a fitness guy account that he was following. And then another one is 4 exercises to build big shoulders, I guess maybe to stab better or possibly because he was uncomfortable about the size of his weak ass shoulders. And then it takes the tangent into more racist stuff, which is blacks know that blacks are violent, so why does white media pretend they are not? Or some other.
You're gonna talk to me about violence? You just killed a guy. You killed a guy with a sword. You want to talk to me about violence?
Yeah.
No, because they're stupid. Like all terrorists are stupid. So I'm gonna show, like the Islamic terrorists will say, I'm gonna show you the West how violent they are by going around killing all these folks, right? And this guy, who is of course a terrorist, he's doing it for a political reason. That's exactly the definition of a terrorist, attacking a civilian and killing them for a political reason. Goes around saying, I'm gonna show how black people are violent by murdering one who's defenseless. Wow, you really proved your point.
No, in addition to the multiple young black women and brown women that are missing in DC who are not getting any coverage. We get this, they're not getting any coverage. But we heard about what happened in the UK over and over and over and over again. This is terrorism, this is terrorism, this is terrorism. We are being terrorized in our neighborhoods. Those of us that come from black and brown communities, that come from lower income communities are being terrorized every day. That man that he killed, the picture that I see is his selfie when he voted, a homeless man who took the time to still go out and vote and be part of the political process, whose life was taken by, someone who's insane because he's absolutely out of his mind. But this is what is being advocated by this administration through this constant
demonization.
Yes, of people of color, and these people that are working on behalf of this administration that is pushing the white supremacy agenda. And people look at us like we're talking about ghosts, like we're in Scooby-Doo. Like, what are you talking about? There's no racism here.
Right. I mean, we elected a black man, a biracial man at one point. So
and in this story,
racism.
And in this story, there will be people in the comment section who say, "Oh, you guys are just playing the race card."
Yeah.
He killed someone based on race. We didn't say it, he said it. If that's not the race card, I don't know what it is, and we didn't play it. He did, and he murdered based on it. We're not the Young Turks, you're the Young Turks. You power this show. Together, we built something amazing. We've broken stories like the Donna Brazile story the mainstream media wouldn't break. We built the studio, we built this network. It's now #1, all thanks to you guys. Let's come build it even bigger and stronger. TYTnetwork.com/join.